Now let's talk about class methods or behaviors. Methods are subroutines that manipulate the data defined by the class and in many cases control access to that data. So methods of a class typically manipulate or provide access to the data of the class. So they're generally named as setters, which are methods to manipulate data, and then getters, which are methods to access data. So adding a new method to your class is like teaching your dog a new trick. So let's see an example. First, the general form is like regular method declaration that we saw earlier in the lecture. So return type, method name, followed by a set of parameters, 0 to many, and the statements. Okay, so parameters are local variables that receive their values from the caller of the method. The return type can be any valid type, integer, double, boolean, or it could be a class type, or void if the method doesn't return a value. So here's the example. Remember our vehicle example, which we had 3 instance variables. We can also add a method called range, which can calculate the range by multiplying the fuel cap times mpg and then return it as an integer. So let's try this in our vehicle class. So I'm back to my vehicle 2. This time I just want to make sure I don't forget to save it as the method vehicle demo 3 as the version 3. So following the constructor. So let me add some lines. So this is set of declaring instance variables on the top. Usually do this on the top, and then you define your constructor. Fine, yeah. There can be more than one constructor, which we'll see this in the next lecture, and then methods. Define methods. Okay, so I'll define an integer range, which will not gonna take any parameters, but it will return an integer value. All right, what should I do? We should return fuel cap times mpg. Okay, so now what can we do with this? Remember, we actually had to calculate the range here. Now we could do 2 things. We don't have to calculate the range here. We can just call, if this is for the minivan, we can call minivan dot range method. Okay, the return will be the minivan's range. This is one way. Another one is that you can just call it inside the print statement. Just call car dot range here. Don't forget to put the set of parentheses each time you call a method. Okay, should we try this? We should name this as vehicle 3 as well. Okay, now I can go change this one to 3, and I can find my earliest commands, change it 3 and run. So a minivan can carry 7 passengers with range of this. Car can carry 5 passengers with a range of this. There you go. So we don't have to make a lot of changes here. It's just we can call the range function or range method of the minivan or the car.